apparaître
Un petit délai de quoi, genre 30 secondes, une minute?
Oui, il est substantiel le délai.
Ah,
Voilà. Voilà.
je pense que...
Non, bye bye. Je veux pas.
Je repoussera la porte, je vais revenir, I guess.
Ouais. Oui, elle est bonne là-dedans.
T'allais se cacher dans sa tente.
Donc. Bon, ben, écoutons. Ok, attends. C'est parce que là, l'auto est là. Vite à toi.
Ramène la tente.
Non, c'est... Moi, j'ai fait une bougie. Pico. Oui. Il est là.
Je te refais la porte.
Tiens, Pépite. Tiens, Pépite. Hello, Pico. Il y a des petites fesses. Est-ce que tu penses que je peux mettre la deuxième caméra pour montrer ta face? Hein? Qu'est-ce que t'en penses? Ça ici. Oui. Dans la face de Pico. Ah non, va-t'en pas tout de suite. Bon. I tried. Pico, auto à thème. Hi guys. Hey Phoebe. Hey Otto. Did you hear? I just told Pico that you love her. She doesn't want to stay. She's quite active today, but yeah. Hey Elena. Hi Francis. Hi guys. Hi Diane. Ooh, sorry. How is everyone this week? Coffee. I was able to make the mousse really light this time. Finally. Pico is very, very cute today. She's super playful. I think she's having a good day. I think that cats, just like us, have good and bad days. And I think that sometimes, like, they might have, like, headaches or feel grumpy. But Pico is having a great day today. Hey, sunny day, hi! Nobody makes a cat do anything they aren't interested in doing. That's very true. I'm finding that if I do the foam too firm, the acidity... Oh, really? Huh. Oh, Otto shared the gerbils. Did I miss it? Was it an Instagram live? Pico is having the zoomies right now. Kind of stressed from world events, but other than that, I'm doing well. Yeah, I think that's I think it's a fair assumption that everybody has a little bit of that going on. Except the people perhaps who should worry the most about it, but, well, some of them at least. Not to get overly political, but yeah. I don't want to get into politics, so I'll just say someone made a whole speech about how the virus was intelligent and was finding ways to fight the antibiotics, and how it was a clever virus and all that. And yeah, maybe someone should tell that person that antibiotics are not for viruses. They are for bacteria and infections. It's not the same. Like, of course, antibiotics are going to be 100% inefficient with the virus. They're not made to fight that. So, yeah, that I wanted to mention it, but really vaguely because it cracked me up. It feels like such a very basic level of understanding the difference between viral and like bacterial, that it really cracked me up. And I was like, oh no, some people are facepalming right now. Yeah, that's it. Hey Misha, hi. I think I might be wrong, but I think that antiviral meds might possibly help with the effects of the virus. But technically, a virus is something your body will fight on its own. You cannot really help with antibiotics, and the other way around. If you have a bacterial infection, you need help from antibiotic. Your body might not be able to fight it on its own. That's from what I gather of my experience dealing with viruses and like being sick. And the times I needed antibiotics versus the times that I did not. Hey Jill, hi. It's the thing, like if someone has COVID, I think they give medicine to help with the effects of it. Like to fight off the cough and the possible headaches and all the mucus and stuff, but you cannot really fight a virus. That's what your immune system is for. Hey Dan, hi. Viruses technically aren't living, so... Hey Nicole, hi. Hey Ellen! Hey! Fellow Canadian, hi! Did you have snow like this week? There was a day there was so much snow. I was like, what's going on? It all melted, thankfully, but I was like, yeah. And it was those like huge cluster of wet snows falling, and yeah, like the kind that you get one in your eye and you can't see anymore, and like my glasses were full of them and I couldn't see anything. It's like, what's going on? Hey Alex, you're on point. I was mentioning how antibiotics will necessarily not work for viruses because that's not what they're made for. So yeah. And maybe you might know, but Alex, antiviral medicine, is it to help with the effects of the virus? Like, what's it for? Are you getting any sign of spring? I saw some flowers. I don't think it was crocuses because it was teeny tiny white flowers. The tulips are growing. And I can see, I don't remember the word for it, but you know when the trees, before they explode in leaves, they have the little buds of whatnot? They're called bourgeons in French. Nicole says, I got snow yesterday in New Jersey. Ugh. Helen says, I did, but not much. We had a bit yesterday morning. It melted. Oh, snow, no. Snow, no. Hey, Marla. Hey, I'm glad you're feeling better. Yeah, kick that thing's butt. Whatever it is. Buds. Oh, okay. It's been warm and sunny here. Wah. Hey, Mark Chat, hi. Hey, Toasty Art. Hi, guys. Hey, landlord. I don't know if you guys can pick it up, but that is the one nice thing about having a black car. Snow basically self-defrosts on the sunny days. That's clever. That's really clever. And I mean, a black car can't go out of fashion. It's a classic. It's funny that everybody complains about snow. It always looks so pretty on TV. It's just that by the time we reach April, you don't really expect there to be a lot of snowfall anymore. More like rain, a lot of rain, but snow is just like the never-ending winter of Canada. Okay, so Alex says, so antibiotics basically storm the castle saying, kill bacteria! But antivirals are different. You can't kill a virus. A virus. Generally, antivirals will keep the virus from replicating. Oh, that's super interesting. So it can take over instead of kill everything. It's more of a metaphorical no babies campaign. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you cannot really kill a virus, I guess. Thank you guys for checking it up. Yeah, we're gonna all go to bed less dumb tonight. Oh yeah, another sign that spring is coming is the allergies. They're back. Why? No worries. Friendly reminder, I'm a healthcare professional, but I'm not a doctor. Just your friendly neighborhood pharmacy technician. Yeah, well, I figured that you would probably be able to explain it to us. What, neophytes? Like people who know nothing about this stuff. Antivirals put the virus into lockdown instead of us. Well, that's nice. I guess that's a bit what helps people deal with AIDS and how people can now live with AIDS and be perfectly fine. So when they talk about finding a cure for COVID-19, there isn't an actual cure, rather a thing to help. Well, I guess that would be it. I guess it would be a thing to help the virus from replicating. And also, if they have an antibiotic, a vaccine, sorry. Bleh. If they have a vaccine and they can vaccinate people for COVID, it would mean that their body build the the white blood cells to fight it. So if you catch it, you can fight it off much quicklier. Oh, my allergies have been bad all week. My throat has felt scratchy and raw. I agree, mine has been quite bad too. And the worst things is that since it's like pollen allergies or something like that, it's very like upper respiratory based. So like you wake up and you're like you feel raw in the airways and all that, and you're like, oh no, did I catch COVID or is it the allergies? It's the ever question around here. Sorry. Bleh. Yeah, same. Allergies have been gross. Oh, I forgot to take my meds. Hold on. I gotta go do that. It's predicted to be a bad year for allergies and for ticks. No! Sorry about that. Stuff. What's that? Hey, Dominic. Hi. I'm glad you guys can relate. Otto says, I've had a sore throat for the last 3 days, and every time I feel it, I'm like, is it COVID? And Alex is like, oh, I know, sniffle. Is it the thing? And it's like, buddy, you were crying 3 minutes ago. The boogers are probably not the problem right now. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Dominic says, I heard that people with the virus have conjunctivitis symptoms. But a nurse separated the serious cases by their eyes, but that doesn't help because when you have allergies, you get like watery, crummy eyes too. Oh, okay, Ellen. Good luck with the mats. Oh, another thing that I saw that really, really annoys me is how a lot of people have really poor manners, in the sense that they litter their used masks and gloves. You know, in the same way that you can find a lot of dog poop bags just left over there. It's exactly as if the dog that had poop on the ground, but it's in a bag. And yeah, and now it's masks and gloves everywhere, and I'm like, no. Oh, Amisha says, I have a crawl-space kitty update. She's still under there, at least part-time, and was heard chasing off an intruder last evening. Aww. Oh, she's protecting your home, you should keep her. I agree. What a sweetheart. I can't help but picture a really feral tortie with a lot of attitude. Alex says, yeah, some cite it as almost a red puffiness around the eyes kind of deal. And it's like, great. Every person on the planet with allergies who cried recently. Super. Is the pencil one of the super fancy ones that everybody... Yeah, it's a Palomino Black Wing. It's one of the special editions because it was on sale, basically. Yeah, they're quite they're good pencils. I mean, a pencil is a pencil. I cannot for sure say that this is really all that different from any other pencil, but I finally got a new coffee maker after 2 weeks of no coffee. Ooh, Mark chat, no. Not even instant coffee in the meantime. Otto says, someone left their used gloves on the stairs of our building. I yelled loudly that it is disgusting. It is. And whoever did it needs to pick it up. It really is. Yeah, it looks really classy, for sure. And look at this one. This one is quite classy too. And yeah, I got the gold thingy. They're really nice pencil. I mean, for the price, you expect them to be nice at least. But if you can find one on sale, that's a good time to try it out. Amisha says, I put some tuna out for her the other day and the whole tin was missing within hours. That's awesome. Aw, she must have been so glad. Finally, a meal that she doesn't have to chase or, you know, separate from the less tasty stuff like, you know, garbage. I can understand wanting to get the cooties off ASAP, but here's the thing. The plastic bags from most store, you can fold those like paper footballs and have in your pocket. Yeah, for sure. They never did, and so my brave husband got rid of it after sanitizing the hell out of it and picking it up through a plastic bag. Yeah, it's kind of a blue-green. It doesn't show, it shows really blue on camera, but it's kind of a tealy color. And that's supposed to be the coastline of California. Because this is like the surf edition. And I was just like, ooh, green and gold. So when you leave store, you have a trash bag on hand you can tie off. I mean, yeah, I'm just... It's just really bothersome, you know, after a while, because you're like, you know, it's... Especially outdoors, it's like, well, either you plan for it or you wait until you see a garbage bin before you get rid of it. Like, you don't have to get rid of it and throw it on the floor immediately. And by the way, if you remove the gloves the way you're supposed to, you will be left with a bundle that has all the cooties inside, not outside. So you can hold on to it with your clean hands and wait until you see a garbage bin to throw it out. Like, you don't have to be all bothered that it possibly has all the cooties. Like, it's gonna be all inside. Ugh. Amisha says, I think using quality supplies gives us a mental boost as much as better materials yielding better results. I think it's true, I agree. I think it also really depends on the individual, because I've seen some people, not all of them of course, but some people like do amazing stuff with really basic supplies. It's not... I think it's whatever you're comfortable using. If it's fancy supplies, then it's fancy supplies. And if you feel super at ease working with something inexpensive, that also is really nice. And I don't know, I go through periods. Sometimes I really want to work with mechanical pencils, and other times I'm like, oh no, I want a good old wooden pencil that you have to sharpen. And Alex says, because stepping through a lot with 40 discarded gloves is totally worth the immediate glove strip and toss. Totally. Except not at all. Yeah, I mean... Ooh, COVID cooties. It's so silly. Like, I don't know, perhaps my approach to the whole thing is not the best, but I'm basically... I don't wear gloves when I go do my groceries because I am not particularly at risk. Like, I don't have any health issues that would complicate everything, and I take everything with my hands, but I don't put them in my face, and I wash them as soon as I get home with soap. And I'm like, am I missing something? Like, do I really need gloves? And I try to, whatever I touch at the grocery store, it's the thing that I'm gonna put in my cart. Mostly, like, it's difficult with something like apples, because sometimes you grab one and it's like super gross on the other side and you're like, I really don't want to buy this. But yeah, I mean, what am I missing? Am I missing something? Sorry guys, I'm a comedian today. No, bring it. Absolutely bring it. Oh, coffee. I'm here all quarantined. If you only need gloves if you have an open sore on your hands. Well then perhaps I need gloves. I have a really bad habit of picking off skin because the skin on my finger is really crackly and dry. But I mean, I'm aware of it, and I will like not use this this thumb or the finger, or put a plaster on it, you know, a band-aid. I've read that gloves don't help because people keep touching their faces and still spread and receive, and that it's better to use hand sanitizer. I think it's better to use soap. I think a good hand wash with soap is the best you can do. But ultimately, if you can avoid putting your hands in your face, that would be ideal. And like a mask is really, really needed if you feel sick. But it's not going to protect you from other people being sick. What paint is that? That's my coffee. Is that the question? Or do you mean these? These there? I haven't tried the coffee, but I plan to if I can remember. This is what I have today, but it has soy chocolate milk under it, and it's really good. Soap and hot water, yes. Alex says, in hospitals, if a doctor examines you with gloves, when they leave, they remove the gloves and still wash their hands. Also, keep touching your face and your phone. Great idea, yep. Just do that. Wearing gloves can actually do more harm than good. People think they're protected, so they wash their hands less often. The good thing, yeah, that's true. The good thing about gloves and masks is with the texture, you become much more mindful of how much you're touching your face, which is good. But then you pull out your phone and mitigate everything. Yeah, that's the thing. When I go out, I don't take out my phone for now. Or if I do, I will wash it afterwards. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I was anyway in a space where just being outside the house was considered gross. So as much as I could, I would not touch my face anyway. And now it's just like even more of the same. Yeah, what did you think of the coffee, Dan? We are required to wear masks to ride public transport starting Monday. That's clever, finally. When I come in, I will hit my hands, my phone and phone case, my keys with hand sanitizer or isopropyl alcohol. I'll put off the coat or bill of evidence. Yeah, same. Like, the only thing we sort of do is groceries. So whenever we go to groceries, I come back. First thing I do is I remove my coat, wash my hands, empty the groceries, wash my hands again. Like, if I touch anything that comes from outside and hasn't been there for like a week, I will wash my hands. Aww. Anna says, I was sewing masks all week. I think half the city will wear green parrots and apple masks now. Well, that you will know. You will be able to spot who has your masks, which is really cool. Just keep telling yourself there's slime on your hand. Yeah. Or tell us if you touch a booger or something. You'll touch your face with less. You can tell yourself that you touch something like a handle or, you know, anything public that was not the texture you expected. That's quite gross. When we go out, we are always the only ones wearing masks. Do masks actually help? They do. They help you from propagating the disease. Like, if I wear a mask, I'm protecting you. And if you wear a mask, you're protecting me. That's the thing. Hey, San, hi. Dude, Alex is on fire today. Well, that's the thing. Otto says, well, majority of people in Japan have been wearing masks and their corona growth is considerably slower than Europe without a lockdown. Thing is that I think a lot of Japanese people already had masks and already had this awareness of how masks work, which is absolutely not present, at least, well, I can say for North America, nobody has that here. And it seems that a lot of people in Europe don't have it as well. So, yeah. And then says, but I don't have the virus. The thing is, you don't know that you don't have the virus. A lot of people are asymptomatic, so they have the virus and they don't have any symptoms, but they can still share it. And if not that, there's still like I don't know, like 1 to 14 days possible incubation period. So you might have the virus but not be sick yet. So you can still share it. That's why you need to wear a mask to help protect other people. It's the whole herd immunity thing. My mask is going to be my hot pink F cancer bandana. That's awesome! Our city just stopped using plastic bags, but now they went back because this reusable bag are not sanitary. We had the same issue. And I'm like, what? The thing is I tried to go to the self-service cash out at the grocery store so I can use my bags. Hey, Paulo! Hi! Nice to see you. Otto says, I've read a few papers about the effectiveness on cloth masks. They go between 40 to 70% effective. People are like, well, it won't prevent it. But that's 40 to 70% more effective than not wearing one. Yeah. I mean, we should aim for as many percentages as we can. I'm just finishing up my coffee. Well, the foam is super light today. Well, it's super hardcore when you just eat that. Ugh. Wow, that's strong. Sorry about that. I will switch to water bottle. There you go. Hey, Heather! So nice to see you. They shut down self-service at my local grocery store. Aww. There's a line to get in. There's a line to get in mine too. And it's no fun. And it's only one person per family that's allowed to go in. And but they still have the self-checkout available. They kind of don't let you be next to someone else when you're using it. Like, there is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if there's a person there, you cannot use this one. But you could use this one. And they get disinfected between each customer. A condom is what, 98% effective? You're gonna not use that either because 2% chances of babies either way. Oh. Yeah, always switch the glass when it gets down to the last 1/3 so that the foam is well dispersed. No giga strong clumps. I know. But it's the first time I make it this light. And it really stuck to the walls of my glass a lot more than the ones I did before. So I will have to adjust. Sorry. Good coffee. Strong coffee. Because I don't think we will get a vaccine soon. Well, depends on what you mean by soon. We will get one at some point, I'm fairly sure. But it might be a year. It might be more than that. Like, who knows? Don't count on that. No. What do you know that we don't? Oh, what? I can't guarantee I'll be able to actually. What's up, Heather? I hope everything is fine. And Q-Dog's wanting out. I don't know. I'm trying to draw Scout and Peko as Animal Crossing characters because I've been playing a lot of it, and it's like, I don't think I've seen any better timing for a game ever before. Like, they released a game that is super, super chill, super calm, super relaxed. That's like, that has a lot of stuff to keep you busy right at the beginning of the quarantine. So Nintendo's been doing a lot of money. Like, I don't think they could not have planned for this, but their timing is like amazing. Pretty sure they're like most of the Switch consoles, like they're sold out in many places. The game was sold out for a long while. At least not with that certainty. Well, we hadn't have a lot of success in developing coronavirus vaccines. In general, you mean for the other coronaviruses in the past, like that's just a type of virus. I'm hoping for an antiviral. Well, anything that would help, honestly. Amisha says, my poor daughter-in-law works in a grocery. Management put up a sign limiting the number of people in the store. The limit is 467 people in one store. I'm sorry, what? No. No. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. That's a lot. Like 67 people might be okay depending on the size of the store, but how huge is the store if it can have that many people in? Super chill. You obviously didn't see me stumble upon the fishing tourney 20 minutes before it was due. What fishing tourney? I got it a bit after it came out, so I kind of missed on a few things, but I mean, like, you can decide to just spend, like, I spend quite some time just waiting on the beach for balloons to show up and shoot them down with the slingshot to get some of the drops, you know. And you can just decide, okay, today I'm rounding my island, I'm picking up all the flowers and I'm replanting them in that place. And it's really, really a really nice distraction, really timely too. And Pico's head is huge. Oh my gosh, what's up with me? What's wrong? Hey, Squirrel Bear, by the way, hi. Ours is a manned entrance. Yeah, ours too. They count the people going in and coming out. I've never played the game, but goodness, it looks wholesome. It really is. It's the first time I play an Animal Crossing game. But, whoa. Oh, today there was a fishing tournament. Whoop. Missed it. And don't get me started on Slumlord Tom Nook. What? Very laid-back piece, very soothing soundtrack, very cute characters. It's like a warm hug for some people. I agree. That's exactly the feeling I get. The music, like, if you're on your island, there is one song playing on loop and you don't even get tired of it. It's super duper chill. It's adorable. I am playing it. I'm loving it. My big thing at the moment is visiting mystery islands and stealing as many trees as I can to plant on my island, especially if it's trees that I don't have. So that's been hilarious. I keep picturing my little cartoon character with pockets full of full-grown trees, and it's just like nonsense, and it's hilarious. And there are so many random stuff. When you get Isabelle, you can change the tune. But I love the tune. I love it. It's so like... sometimes I wake up and that's the first thing that comes to my mind is that song. And I'm like, it's so chill. Such a quiet thing and nice thing to wake up to. No, I don't have all the fruits. I stole a bunch of apple trees and bamboo trees, and the ones that were on my island were pears. And I stole some of the coconuts too. I know you can plant the fruits and have like saplings and all that, but it's much more funny to just steal whole trees. You should set up an Animal Crossing. I will. I don't have the turnips yet, though I think the Desime shows up tomorrow. I'm fairly new to all this. It's my first Animal Crossing game too, so I think there might be a few elements that I'm just not familiar with. But like it's been quite fun, and I'm really sorry for everybody in the chat who's like, what are you guys talking about? Oh, thank you, Mark Chat. Dude, 467 people. That's... How can you keep track of so many people? So many people? You need to have the city hall for the turnips. Whoops. Well, I'm really not there yet. But yeah, what I love of the game is that you can get really, really into it and try to like really build it up to a high level of completion, but you can also decide that you just like fish or run after bugs to catch them or dig up for fossils. You know, you don't really you're not forced into a story if you don't want to. You can really do that just to chill out and have something else on your mind for a time. I'm really bummed though. If I had known there was like, well, I should have figured it out, but there are cat characters in there and you have a limited amount of villagers you can have on your island. I should have kept all my spots for cats. I know I can bully some of them out of my island, but that seems so harsh. I want it all. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not, the only thing I want all of it is certain themed events drops. Like I wanted all the Sakura items because they look great. And I got all the Easter items in the same pursuit. And oof, I'm so eager to sell them. Don't get me started on the clothes. Clothes are great. You have all sorts of weird stuff in there. It sounds like a lovely time sock hole to find. It really is. I try to really limit myself because I don't want to, you know, like be too... I don't like spending too much time on like a game or whatnot, but like if I'm done with all my work for the day and it's after dinner and everybody's tired, well, I might play a bit of the game. And yes, the trees have some really unfortunate shapes. That's not made up. That's just the way it is. Sometimes I feel like I'm playing with doll. Hey, Malvina. Well, I just wear whatever I want. Like, I don't feel pressured into wearing specific things. One of my friends who plays too got me really awesome galaxy motif sweater. So basically my character in the game wears a galaxy sweater, sweatpants, shoes and glasses. And tube socks because that made me laugh. Apparently new villagers grow their houses, but your starting villagers only upgrade their decorations based on what you give them. Oh no, I haven't given them anything. I think I gave one like a fish. Darn. I like to change their clothes every day. Well, it depends on what you have. I don't have that many clothes yet. I got an old commoner's kimono that I think is quite neat. But aside from that, I was super excited to get sweatpants because I'm like, hey, now it's finally like really me, sweatpants, awesome. And you basically get a bunch of reactions that you can do. Like basically your character doesn't speak at all in the game. Not that there's an actual English language in there, but still, you get reactions which are like emotes and they're all so cute. You get to be happy, excited and all of that, and it's just adorable. Time sync talk. A moment of silence for the support groups. For those addicted to Sid Meier's civilization games. Moment of silence. There we go. Oh, it's English. Dude, you, French. Ugh. No. I really struggle with... unless it's been made in... the thing is that hardly any game is made in Lumberjack French. And if it's made in France French, that's really weird for us. I would much prefer have the game in English than in France French. Okay, this tree's gonna have apples in it. I love that you call it Lumberjack French. Well, it's the most accurate way to describe it that I can think of. Palomino Blackwing pencils are great, but they smudge a lot, especially on cold press paper. So does that make the English spoken in the US Lumberjack English? Well, perhaps in the northern part of the US. Sure. But, I mean, the US is really vast, so... Of course I had to plead. But the fishing tournament ended at 6 p.m. Well, it's still like 3 p.m. here. Though I can't really say that I'm like raring to go. I'm like, blah, blah. Like I said, my fun is mostly stealing trees right now. Remember, folks, Civilization 5 Brave New World is still, in fact, the best civilization in my professional opinion. In your professional opinion. Oh my gosh, we're not kidding. American English is spoken mostly badly. I haven't played a lot of Civilization, I gotta say. Thing is that all in all, both Mr. A and I, we end up not having that much time to play games. Hey, Cyan! Wow, it's been a while! How have you been? Eep. Oh wow, those were some epic maths. I'm not a math person. Yeah, the Canadian Emergency Response benefit is nice. I'm glad it exists, but there's a lot of conditions, if I can say that, to it being an actual relief. But I'm sure it helps a lot of people, so for that I'm super thankful. I mean, it's better a bit of money than no money at all, isn't it? I haven't played in a little while. When I was in school, though, at the start of the semester, I'd suddenly uninstall. Well, I'm pretty impressed that you had the strength to uninstall them. Some major life changes happen, but I'm good. Oh no, I hope not bad things. Yikes. Or at least if it was not great, I hope it's better now. Cyan. Sorry. Oh my gosh. I completely understand taxes. Well, I think I understand taxes enough, but it still cracks me up whenever they Ellen is saying that the Canadian Emergency Response benefit would technically give her more, but even if she qualifies, she would have to pay tax on it next year. So it's like, here, that's to help you, but then next year you're gonna have to help us and you back technically by paying taxes on it. And it's like, like there's always a thing with taxes here in Canada. I don't know about you guys in Ontario, but in Quebec taxes are really bad. Like all in all, it's 15%. Like services and product taxes totals 15%, and it's like whenever you buy something inexpensive, it's not exactly a shock, but whenever you buy something more expensive and you see the bill and you're like, oh, that's a lot, and then you see the taxes and you're like, oh my gosh, it's like the last kick kick in the stomach. You're like, oh no. My heart goes out to everyone whose budgets have been torpedoed. This is one of the few times being on a pension is a blessing. I can absolutely see why. And yeah, I feel really sorry too for everybody who has to deal with that, and especially people that have like a lot of people depending on them. Kids, relatives, that kind of stuff. Or like even employers. I'm fairly convinced that most employers would rather keep their business going and keep their employees, but yeah, not a lot that can be done. Finland, everything is taxed heavily. I think you got it worse than us, but I can sort of feel what you mean because it's kind of not small here either. Taxes are a pain in the butt, but I get my money out of them. Oh yeah. So you benefit from everybody paying taxes. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like it's supposed to bring in benefits, which is why we pay taxes. And for the most part it works, but it's always, I would much prefer if the prices of things included the taxes. So when you see the price, you can work your mind or like accept that price, not go through the process of accepting the price and then seeing a different, much higher price because now this one includes the taxes, and you're like, oh yeah, fudge, I forgot. See, that's just the thing. If the taxes was included in price, it would possibly be much easier on the psyche. Like, can you imagine the taxes on buying a car or a house? VAT is 24% on. Oh. Oof. Yikes. I hope you get a lot of services out of that, though. My boss is scrambling right now. He would love to top us up to... Yeah, but... I mean... I'm really in awe of your boss for being so nice, Ellen. And I can absolutely understand that he would want to keep his employees and pay them. But yeah, I mean, not at his expense either. Like, it's gotta be fair for everyone, as much as possible. Hey, Otto, is tax included in prices over there? Your VAT is 20%. Ugh. Ouch. Can we please include the prices in the taxes in the price? Yeah. Please. Please. So that, say you have $20 in your pockets and you want to buy things, you don't have to do some mental gymnastics to add everything up and then add an extra 15% or whatever taxes are. And then see if it fits the amount of money you have in your pockets. The prices we see in the stores are with taxes included, so we don't go on this roller coaster feeling when it comes to taxed item. I'm so glad, Lena. I'm really, really glad because that's the thing. Like, I don't want to have this, like, oh yeah, it's only gonna cost $500, and then you see the price with taxes, and it's almost like it's $575 now, and you're like, oh, that feels like an extra $75 that is being sucked out of you. Well, technically, the price of the thing was always $575 because there was always going to be taxes on it. Otto says it's really amazing to see bosses who are doing so much to try and support their staff. I agree, absolutely agree. Over here we get the final price. That's awesome, Paulo. That's what it should always be. Isn't it awesome when we can all go home to home security and food security? Yeah, that's really tested right now, isn't it? I don't want to get political, so I'm not going to say much more than that, but the situation right now is really, really putting a lot of situation through their paces. The situation is putting the situation is putting to the test a lot of things, I might say. There are definitely some companies I will be avoiding when this is over. Some companies have been amazing, though. I agree, Dan. It's really interesting to see. I was a bit sad the other day because I realized that eventually when this all like blows over, we can't even have the people from essential services like tell them, okay guys, you earned a full week of vacation because we're still gonna need those services. Like, oh no, I hope they'll find a way to like do things in shift and have people take a really, really justified break. I have to pay car tax every year. I think it's the same here. And it is weirdly calculated depending on your car CO emissions. Oh, you want doggies on your island? I want cats on mine. I think I got a gator. I got a cow and a bird for now. Oh, hey, bye Jill, thank you so much for being here. The main reason we don't have the final price on the shelf is because our taxation system is so fractured. I hope they will eventually fix it, or like, I don't know, regroup it, make it work. have a penguin. The octopus characters are really cute too. How long do you think you'll be cautious and do all the precautions after lockdowns are removed? There are kind of things that I always do anyway. I mean, I was saying that to Mr. E the other day, and he was like really perhaps confused about the thing. But I was telling him, I'm like actually the situation right now is not ideal at all, but it's pretty awesome for many things in the sense that we finally have a perfectly legit reason to avoid like meeting people when walking out. Like if there's someone coming on the same path as me towards me, I can step away and I don't have to look at them, and it's like kind of a lot of relief in a way. And he was like, well, relief from what? And I was like, well, you don't have to be like, oh no, someone's coming, do I have to look at them? Do I have to smile at them? Have I seen them before? Should I interact in this way? Oh my gosh, are they looking at me? Is my whatever thing I'm wearing wrong? And like all these really awkward questions, like I don't have to care about them anymore. I can just be like, oh, someone's coming, I'm gonna step like 10 feet that way and touch them. Bye. Do they happen to have Dachshund looking dogs by any chance? Would Harvey count as a Dachshund? Paulo, what do you think? No, not every place has paid leave. I never had really paid leave in a way, because I was working contracts and the paid leave was calculated in terms of a percentage of the total hours you worked. And if the contract was long enough that I would accumulate some time off like that, you would never be in a position where you could take it, because everything was on so tight deadlines, like such tight deadlines, that there was hardly ever any time you could take off without missing the whole production. So yeah, what I would do whenever I needed a vacation, I would just be like, well, I'm not going to be there that day, and it's going to be on my dime, so deal with it. Keeping distance to strangers in public is pretty standard here. Man, it needs to be standard everywhere. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, and like you can stay far from people, and I try like my fair share of gross situations that I know better than to go out and put my hands in my face. On my face? Yeah, on my face. Oh, thank you, Francis. Hey, Tsukaboo, hi. So did you just work 52 weeks a year? Mostly. Like, you would have a couple of days off here and there, like, they would offer you either Christmas or New Year's, or you would have like the 25 and the January 1st off, but that's it. So some people work on the 24th and they go back to work on the 26th. And like you don't necessarily have sick days. I mean, most places I've worked, they didn't have insurance. Like, you didn't have any benefits, because the job was how do companies expect you not to be worn out? I can't say for other companies, but for the kind of places I've worked, I mean, technically your contract was perhaps, they would always last a bit longer because their production deadlines were always whatever, but they don't expect you to work there for much more than a year, So they figure that when that year of work is done, then you're gonna have some time off anyway, because you're gonna be looking for more work. So I guess they figured that you're supposed to you're supposed to replenish yourself during that period of time. Typically, you're replaceable enough they don't always feel obligated to invest in your well-being. Yeah, that's the thing. Is the Harvey character black and tan or red? Black and tan. He has like a mustache too. It looks a bit like a hippie. Kind of very Cheech and Chong-esque. They don't care. Basically. And the thing is that the kind of the industry in which I worked was not at its best moment when I was in it. So there were quite a few situations where you would talk to people who have been doing work like that for a while, and things were drastically different. Like, there was a lot less money in it now than used to be. So a lot of advantages, things that were real before, were no longer there. So it was kind of weird. Like, even if it's small stuff, like, oh, hey, you're working on this production, well, eventually you get a production t-shirt. Kind of like a memento that you worked on this. And some places still try to have the shirt and all of that, but that's the only thing they would possibly to do with their budget. And I have friends who work in really different fields, and like every few months they get a new shirt, they get like merch, they get if they work in games, like sometimes some companies will ask them like, hey, we're releasing whatever game this is, do you want one? And like, oh, whoa, and I'm like always floored, because I'm like, whoa. But yeah, a mustache. Oh yes, I'm down for this character. Yeah, perhaps it's a bit beagle-y, but everything is so cartoony in Animal Crossing that it could probably fit to be a bit of addition too. I will let this dry and I will doodle something else in the meantime. Okay, let's lighten the mood. What positive things have you come out for you through your quarantine? That's a good question, Otto. Oh, Ellen, that made me laugh. I've been painting more. I'm more inventive in my art. Oh, that's so cool. I'm really loving everybody who's dusted up the sewing machine and crafted things. What I saw that was really interesting, in my opinion, is to see all the places in the world, how they changed when the human activity is a lot less present. Like, you see pictures of Los Angeles without smog, and a lot of places where there are always a lot of people. It's really interesting, I find, to see how things change when there are a lot less people contributing to the place. I mean, it's maybe not ideal, but it's interesting. Okay, so I will take on the suggestions and something about flattening the curve. I thought that was really interesting. It gave me a few ideas. So I don't remember if the curves. Yeah, I guess you gotta start like at 0 and The bad curve rises up and then down, and the squished one is, well, squished. And I wanted to kind of draw the thing being squished by these sort of boxes of gloves. Easter egg hunt. Dude, I'm so I've seen so much Easter stuff in Animal Crossing and I'm like, ah, no, pastel eggs, no. Hey, Stephen, hi. I can hear bird songs a lot more clearly. That's awesome. Do you guys get cardinals? Cardinals have the most funny bird song. Well, one of the most funny because they sound like a laser. They go like pew, 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 and you're like, what? Or another one they do is like flipper, flipper, and you're like, what's that? And since the trees are still bare, you can spot the cardinals in there because there's like a red like chunk of stuff over there, and you're like, oh, that's a cardinal bird. Oh wow, 50 masks. Otto, you've been on fire. 17 pieces in the last 21 days. That's awesome, Amisha. Oh my gosh. No, but we did hear a woodpecker today. Ah, those are so cool. Tack, 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 tack. And you're like, what? Where? What? It's so much fun. No laser birds here. Oh, they're laser shooting birds. They sound like lasers. They really go like pew, and you're like, what? What is making that sound? Chipping sparrows are the most punk rock bird. Links to a cardinal call, by the way. Yeah, well, you can Google that. If you Google like cardinal bird song, and you will be able to fully understand the laser sound. I was working on a TV show shot in my town, and I remember myself and the producer came out of the door, and there was a cardinal in the tree. The producer had never seen one. Lol, Toronto folks. Well, you know what? I had never seen one until I installed a feeder. Now I spot them a bit more, but yeah, I mean, I had never seen a cardinal in person before. I don't think I've ever seen a blue jay in person. But I know we have them in Quebec, but I haven't seen any here. Hey, lab accident, hi! Are cardinals big? No, not really. They're about this big, I think. They have, I think they're the type of bird with the beak to be able to crush through the shelf seeds. They have like this big beak kind of structure to them. They're so red. I love it so much. Kind of funny to picture a cat wearing a mask because technically the sides of the mask they go behind the ears, but if cats were to wear masks they would have them in a very useless place. Blue jays are... Oh, are they? I think blue jays are part of the corvid families too. What I'm really missing in Montreal is crows. I'm like, dude, where are all the crows? We had a bald cardinal missing his crest for... Oh no! Poor guy! Oh, poor bird! How are Pecco and Scout enjoying having Mr. E at home more? It hasn't really impacted their routine. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose. Sorry about that. They are cats, so they spend most of the day sleeping anyway. Amisha says, I have at least 2 nesting pairs of cardinals in my area and they love my mulberry tree. Oh, what I've seen of cardinals that I think is really, really awesome is that, like, whenever they come to the feeder, if we get a female alone, it means that she hasn't found a mate yet, because whenever the female cardinals have a mate, you have, let's say the female will be feeding, the male will be on the ground, not far off, and like keeping watch, making sure there are no threats coming up, or like making sure that it's safe to eat. So they kind of always come in pairs, which is really, really cute. Have our crows, we have too many here. Oh, I would. I love crows. We'd love to get a bird feeder, but we get a lot of seagulls, and I'm worried that the feeder will attract them. Well, I've seen pigeons at my feeder, so that's kind of annoying. But I haven't seen any seagulls, and there are some that are always hanging around. I've seen a lot of seagulls, but around trash rather than feeders. There's a flock of about 20-30 quails that come through our yard and feed in the evenings during the summer. That's awesome. That sounds so cool, Phoebe. Blue jays attack everything when they're nesting. I've seen them chase black bears away. Oh my gosh, Nicole. Dude, they don't mess around. Hey, Gwen. Hi. Cardinals made for life. Well, how cute is that? Oh my gosh. Oh, Letta says that Opal the gerbil was doing that for Jet the gerbil when Jet was drinking water last night. Opal stood right by Jet and kept her company. How cute is that? You should watch Birds by Alfred Hitchcock. No, thank you. Seagulls here have favorite food, French fries. Yeah. They really like to stick around McDonald's and get the stuff that people discard over there. How silly is that? I hope you get a feeder. Although it's really enjoyable to see wild birds feed at it, even if it's just the little sparrows and like really basic stuff. It's kind of cute to see them. We call it cat TV too, because the cats really enjoy it. Wait, you ordered plastic ponies? What? Oh yeah, that's true. There are two types of feed that you can put in a bird feeder. There is the suet blocks that are basically a bunch of stuff held together with fat. Those are really good to use in the winter. And the extra fat is also most welcome in the winter because that's when the birds might possibly benefit the most from it. For the warmer season, you're better off with any kind of seed mix that doesn't have any fat in it. Why is there a piece of schnut on my... There you go. Oh no. Well, lab accident, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope work goes well. Hey, Fitz. Hi. I live in too big a city. I don't think anything is feral anymore. Everything is so used up to humans that... Like the squirrels in the park, they don't even run away from you unless you really like startle them or approach them. Sweat is good if you have a lot of squirrels. It's harder for them to get to it. True, but yeah, in the summer, sweat is a really bad idea. It is gonna melt. And it's gonna be really, really gross. I meant to be here on time but got distracted by Animal Crossing. Finally got my Switch today. We've been talking about Animal Crossing earlier. I did draw Scout and Pecco Animal Crossing style somewhat. I was looking up reference for Animal Crossing like characters and the style is really diverse. Like you cannot really say, well, they do the eyes this way and they do the faces this way, and like it's really, really varied. So I decided to just like have fun with it. Oh, this says, we have squirrels that will climb up the outside of apartment buildings several floors high. I once heard a noise, opened my window, looked to my right and saw this squirrel right by me. Oh no! Well, you gotta be careful if you get a feeder that it's not something that a squirrel can get to. Yeah, the Animal Crossing art style is really impressive. No, it really is. It's so inventive. I thought Scout was the name of an Animal Crossing character. I didn't realize you were drawing your cats. I am. Is feeding squirrels bad? I don't think it is, but I think in most cases you don't really need to be feeding the squirrels. I think they can find enough food on their own, and they might kind of shoo away the birds. But to be fair, the squirrels cannot get to our bird feeder unless they really, really want to try. I think we've seen one of them once or twice on the feeder, but it had earned its its time there, because it's really impossible to just get to the feeder for them. But anyway, the birds will eat at the feeder, and birds are really messy, so they will drop seeds a lot, and the squirrels, they come and they eat the seeds that are on the ground, and the squirrels and the birds can sort of eat at the same time, and they don't really bother each other. But that's the thing also you might want to be mindful of, is that if you install a feeder, it might lead to a lot of bird poop and seeds and shells of seeds being on the floor under the feeder. So you gotta keep that in mind too. Quick art question: what brush can one use with mineral spirits? Oh, that's a good question. I'm not even sure what mineral spirits are. Is it an oily thing, or is it like turpentine? Oh no! I don't think my downstairs neighbors would appreciate seeds and poops. The thing is I don't know where you installed the feeder, but if you can install just if it's, let's say it's over the balcony, well, you can put a shallow tray or like a lid or whatever, and you put a bit of potting soil in there, and if the seeds drop in there, or the poop, either sometimes the seeds will germinate, which is really cute because you end up with a bunch of greenery at the bottom. The birds, they will possibly like to land there and eat the seeds that have fallen, and if they poop in there, it's really no biggie. Well, Paulo, you could try with like dollar store brushes. They will probably be some synthetic fiber like Taclon, and if they dissolve the fibers of a $1 brush, it's not, it's not the worst. Yeah, I wouldn't use like Sable for that. I don't really enjoy using Sable much anyway. It loses its point way too fast. Oh, they can kick the seeds out a little too. Yeah, that's so funny though. The way we set up the feeder, we can really watch them at the feeder, and it's really hilarious to see that the small birds, like, they they really dig in their beak in like with a lot of intention, and it's like wham, and you see all the seeds just like fly everywhere, and it always cracks me up because like whenever I fill up the feeder, sometimes during the day like it's full, and at the end of the day it's gonna be empty, and I'm gonna be like, you guys, you you made a mess. Look at all the seeds on the ground that you dropped. Eat those before I refill it. And yeah, it's just kind of funny. Like, they're cute though. I don't regret it. I think the feeder itself was like $5, and I buy whatever wild bird mix they have at the grocery store just because it's easier to bring home. So it's really cute. You have to look after sable brushes. Yeah, I know, but ugh. I don't know. I don't. For me personally, I don't think it's worth it. I have a few of them, of course, but I always feel kind of bad because I'm like, well, it's not like they can get the hair without killing the poor animal, and even if I am super careful with those brushes, they really lose their point super quickly. Like they get not because the point curls up or whatever. It's just it frays faster. And more we are having synthetic brushes that are super duper good. So I struggle to see a reason to invest. The only thing I can think of is that if you can find secondhand sable brushes that are still nice, that's something that I think is quite cool, because it means that like it was already in circulation, so they didn't have to do anything special. Like no animals were killed for those brushes, I guess is the thing. And yeah, I'm kind of rough on brushes too. Yep, and sables are sweet. They are! They're adorable. So yeah, that's kind of, and more you see, like, say Jackson's has its like its own squirrel and sable brushes, and they're more affordable than other, and I just feel bad because I'm like, well, what does that imply for the sables or the squirrel? I bought, oh, I think I put it away, but I bought a really nice squirrel mop secondhand, and I was really happy. It was affordable, it still looked good, and I was glad that someone thought that it was worth it to offer this on like eBay, because I would much rather do that than, I don't know, it's weird. It's odd. I'm super eager for technology to be so good that they make synthetic hair that is exactly as good as real hair, and we don't need to rely on real hair anymore for brushes. That's what I'm eager for. Hey, welcome back, Heather. Talking of Jackson's, if your order is taking ages to be dispatched, please do not... Did people really direct message you about that? Oh no. Oh no. What? What? I'm really sorry that happened. What the heck? Why would they even think about that? Good grief. Are expensive brush more resistant to fraying? From what I've seen, brushes are mostly expensive because they're handcrafted and use real hair. Dominic, that's kind of what I think. I don't personally think that expensive brushes are more resistant to fraying. If you are seeking synthetic hair brushes, there's really not a correlation between price and quality of the synthetic hair brushes necessarily. You can find some really nice synthetic brushes at a discount, like at a really low price. Like Taklon or, you know, something like that. More often than not, like the wallets they sell of many synthetic brushes in there, they work really great. Anyway, I like them. For me, for the type of work I do, I haven't seen any reason to use real sable and real squirrel. More often than not, if a brush holds too much pigment, I find it annoying because it's much harder to clean it up between colors. And you end up having to, you know, clean it up and be rougher on it in a way because it's more difficult to get the pigment out. One of the synthetic brand that I really like, that is not the least expensive one, but that is kind of easy to find and quite good, is the Cutman brushes. The paints are dubious, but the brushes are quite good. And they can be versatile in that you can do gouache and watercolor with them. I really hope we see that in our lifetimes fits. The synthetic as good as natural brushes. A lot of the synthetic squirrel that has been coming out from Da Vinci with the Casaneo brushes is really nice. And yeah, I really like it. And really, I can dry brush fine with anything. And I find that synthetic brushes hold the point better. But that's perhaps more my kind of treatment that is like that. They're not as floppy. Oh my gosh, yes. Real squirrel is so floppy. It's so limp. You grab them and you, if they're wet, they're just like floppy. Oh. I like Taklon. Like, from a purely aesthetic point of view, I really like white Taklon. I don't know why. It stains. I mean, the first time you use them, it stains, but I still like it. Faux sable and faux squirrel, quite good. Cutman brushes are really great. I love the Zen brushes you send me. Otto, let me know if you need more. They're like super inexpensive here. The Zen brushes are like not even $4 per brush. Whether it's a teeny tiny one, like a size 0, or if you get the super fat one that is like this big at the tip, they're all like $4. So yeah, if you need stock, hit me up and we will set something up. That's what I've been using for like ages. Ever since I started my channel, my workhorse brush that I use for swatching is a Zen brush from Royal and Langnickel. It's a really nice synthetic fiber, and I mean, I have an older one and a newer one, and which one is which? I can't tell, but love them. Love them a lot. Okay. I think the issue is with a lot of cheap brushes and widely varying quality. That's kind of true. You can get a really bad one and a good one, but at the same time, if you get an inexpensive brush and it's a bad one, you can use it for like masking fluid to be really rough on it and makes effects, and you know, like you don't feel bad about messing up the brush even if it's gonna end up in the trash. You know, that's just, maybe you should sell them in your store. Well, Otto, we need to work out the details of that, but I will absolutely get you more if you can't find them. I've been using the same white Taklon brushes for acrylic since the mid-90s. They last forever if you look after them. Yeah, I agree. I have some really old Taklon brushes, and let's see if I can find one of my like very old brushes. I think this is one of them. Like, it's still like fine. I mean, of course it's stained and messy and whatever, but... Okay, let's get to painting. This one. Let's use this one. I prefer to use silicone brushes for masking fluid. I haven't tried them yet. I have masking fluid with an applicator tip, so I haven't really messed up with using other applicators, but that's something that's on my to-do list, like to figure out how masking fluid works better. Okay, what paints am I using today? Oof. Sorry. I don't know which paints I'm going to be using today. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Might not be super inventive and use my Schminke palette. Winsor & Newton. Do I have a Winsor & Newton palette set up? I don't think I have one. And the best thing is, if a bristle frizz on a synthetic bristle brush, you can bring an old pot full of water on the stove. Oh, really? Huh. I was looking at these. Hold on. The ones in here, these are Cotman paints. Yes, I know. I wonder if I would have enough for this painting. I painted these swatches from old Cotman paints. You can tell that the Prussian blue is kind of messed up on this set. But this set is quite still enjoyable, and it comes from a time when Winsor & Newton still had PBR7 for their burnt sienna, which is enjoyable, which is nice, and which they absolutely should bring back at some point. I mean, call it something else. Call it like another name than burnt sienna or whatever, like. But bring back PBR7, please. Pico is like, la 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 la, and Scout is like, yeah, yeah, pretty much. I've been known to just hold my favorite number right. Oh my gosh, yes. I have... Hold on, do I have a Holbein set? I'm pretty sure I have a Holbein set. Yeah, I do. If you want a Winsor & Newton palette setup, I can send you one. Well, I should put one up. I have a bunch of tubes over there, but all the palettes I've bought from them are either not set up, like this one. This one is absolutely not set up because I haven't figured out what I'm gonna do with it. Like, it has tubes and it has mixing areas, but I'm like, where am I supposed to put the paints? So that's been in limbo forever. The field box has been absolutely dismantled. Like, I took out the paints because it was annoying. Yeah, I've been playing with my Cotman sets because I have old Cotman sets. Like really, I say really old, but it's not, you know, it's from what, the 80s, 90s perhaps? They should really put the year on those. But it contains Cotman paints that were still made in the UK. So that had me curious about these. Like, are these better? Are these usable? Like, what are these worth? Can I do something with these? So that's why I've been sort of testing these out. Yeah, it's a weird palette set. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with it. Yeah, I'm oddly obsessed with Cotman. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm really trying to... I guess I'm really trying to find a way to make these work because they're everywhere and they're affordable to beginners. And if I can find something, some sort of redeeming quality to them, that would be really nice to be able to propose that to people. They would maybe feel more comfortable if the suggestions is for something they've seen a lot in other suggestions, like try Cotman. And everybody says like, oh, get some Cotman paints, and they would be like, oh, okay, this is like, yeah. But I'm still like pondering it, if the new formulas are worth it, if it's still, yeah, I don't know. I'm just, and the other thing is the Cotman boxes are so cool. I love them a lot. Like, look at this one. I mean, you remove all these stupid colors in there, and that's a really nice travel set. And you can even remove this bottom section of it, and you have another mixing area, and you can put this aside, and you know, and when you're done, you wrap everything up, and you have this super teeny, nice, strong plastic palette. The palettes are nice. The Cotman palettes, they're good. Most of them. But the paints. What's up with the paints? That's why I have a playlist on YouTube that's called the Cotman Obsession, because I cannot get away from them. Every time I get fed up with them, I come back. The Cotman sets are really sad. They never include the permanent rose one, which is kind of an interesting magenta. They never have nice dioxazine purple in there. The mauve color is nice. So yeah, I just don't... In their defense, the old formula is much... Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, I mean, if I didn't tell you that these are Cotmans, the bottom row here, could you have guessed? I would not have been able to guess. Definitely not. Like, perhaps another student brand, but not Cotman, you know. So, I don't know. That's the sign of a toxic relationship. I see it as a sign of a puzzle that hasn't been figured out yet. It's a puzzle. I might not find a solution for me, but I'm still gonna work at it on and off. Hey, welcome back, Phoebe. The Winsor Newton Permanent Rose is lovely. The Pro brand is even better, but they should include the magenta in the student sets. Why are people not including magentas in student sets? That's the sign of a toxic relationship. Oh my gosh. Oh no, it's fine, it's fine. I've been, you know, I've been my fair share of the toxicity stuff going on, and I'll take the paints over it every day. Stop going back to the boyfriend that keeps letting you down. I don't know, I see it as a, you know, when someone tells you like, oh, watch Deadwood, it's such a good TV show, and you're like, okay, and you give it a try and think it's terrible, but you're like, I'm gonna listen to another episode, see if it gets better, and then it doesn't get any better, and you're like, it's still bad, and you say, no, keep watching, and you're gonna try another episode, but it's still bad. But that's more like the kind of obsession thing that I can figure out. So let's get those out. Ah. I should grab a cheaper brush than that, because I'm working in do I have two of those? Do I really have to? Oh, one is a long round and one is a round. What is this one? Oh, it's not. Here, let's go with this one. Okay, but I will do an intervention if you start going back to PBO. Dude, I got rid of those so quick. But fair enough. The next thing you know, she's going to tell us red, yellow, and blue are the real primary color. Oh no, that's not gonna happen. To be fair, that wood is an acquired taste, but yeah, I guess so. But it's like, it was just really funny because both Mystery and I, all we heard about that show was that it was really good and really epic, and we were like, okay, sure, we're gonna, give it a try. And like, whenever you see so much good feedback about a thing and then you try it and it doesn't materialize, like, you always wonder, I don't know about you guys, but I always wonder, like, am I missing something? What didn't I get? Did I get the memo? What did I miss? But yeah. Hey, Lise, hi. Yeah, that's the thing. Red, yellow, and blue are technically primaries, but they're not the most interesting primaries to teach color mixing to someone. It's a slippery slope, that's all we're saying. Oh, let's argue about primaries. Primaries just are really, Guys, a miracle has happened. I have found my desk. It was under everything this whole time. Oh my gosh, Alex. See, I mean, you guys all love Deadwood. And that's why we decided to try it. We're like, well, everybody's enjoying this, so let's try it. Why not? And yeah. I kind of lost it at the episodes where Ian McShane's character gets his kidney stones and everybody is like, is acting as if Jesus was dying, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm really not getting it, so time to switch on to something else. I don't tend to stick with shows if I don't enjoy them, which is why I didn't watch Battlestar Galactica and Buffy. Deadwood is the TV series, basically. It's a TV series set in a western, like a USA kind of western setting, in a small town, small mining town, I think. It's been a while. And you basically follow the life and the events that are going on in that town and its occupants. Well, you haven't watched The Detectorists yet, Otto. I'm not gonna stop rambling about that. Dude, if there's a good time to be watching Detectorist, it's right now. It's such a feel-good kind of show. It's so calm. It's so funny. And at the same time, it's so not dramatic, like not serious. Oh, I miss it so much. We also tried watching House of Cards, and we got fed up so fast with that one. Like, no one is relatable in there. Everybody's freaking psycho, or like, you have two types of characters in House of Cards. You have the ones that die, and you have the psychos. Yeah, it has Ian McShane. Oh, I feel like Otto is gonna be another one of those persons who really enjoys Deadwood, and I'm gonna be like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get why I didn't like it. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is quite nice. Oh my gosh, I'm really excited to follow up on Otto watching Deadwood. Different cycles. Yeah, but it has 100% less cats. So I'm not sure it would be enjoyable. Oops. Buffy, Angel, and Battlestar Galactica. Ugh, not my cup of tea. But yeah, everybody should go watch Detectorists. Come on, go. Go. Oh, thank you so much, Paulo. That's what I try to I don't know how. That's kind of an opaque color. Oops. But I realized kind of early on that I don't really enjoy drawing things that are not happy. Perhaps because everything is enough of a struggle already. So I'm really glad if whatever I end up painting makes other people happy too. Or even if it makes them just smile for like a second. I'm like, that's good. That's perfectly good. So true, right? What's up with those trees? I mean, what? Everybody should go watch Detectorists. I'm not gonna stop. You ain't gonna stop me. that I was being pervy for noticing it. No, no, no. I mean, it doesn't stick long as a perception because of the nature of the game. Like at a first glance, you're like, oh, wow, shape of those trees is something. But the moment you start playing the game, it's just like, well, that's just the trees. Like everything is so stylized that it's not as shocking anymore, if I can say that. But yeah, when I saw screenshots of the game before playing it, I was like, woo, that's unique. Probably not, but you know what I mean. That's unexpected, I would say, because it's such a game that's like family friendly. Oh, I'm so sorry, Elise. That sounds awful. Oh no, you do not have access to it. Ah, no. Used to be on Netflix. Then it got removed from Netflix, and then I had to be crafty to see it. But it's absolutely worth it. It's so much fun. It's such a good feel-good TV show. And I really like the actors. It's like Toby Jones and Mackenzie Crook. They are good in it. Really, really fun. Where are Scout's orange bits? She doesn't have that much of orange on her. She has what we call the flame on her head. But aside from that, she's very, very dark for a tortie. She has an orange and a white spot on her belly. And some more orangey kind of mushed colors on her side, but it's mostly covered by clothing in this. She's a very, very dark cat. I put on my IMDb. I hope you find it, Lise. I need more people in chat who can ramble about it with me. People who get it were like, oh my gosh, it was so much fun to watch because it was so relaxing and fun and silly and good. I don't remember, but I think the apples have a bit of green on top. Oh my gosh, Heather. My son find a way for us to watch Picard. I don't ask questions. That's a good idea. That's the proper mindset. It's much less frequent these days that one needs to be creative about stuff, thanks to Netflix and other streaming platforms. But still, sometimes you really want to watch something, and it's like Netflix doesn't keep everything forever. Like it doesn't have Supernatural anymore, and I'm so behind on it, and it bothers me so much. But I can't really afford to. If you tell yourself it's a fidget spinner. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. It looks like one. What was I gonna paint? Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm always running out of space to mix stuff. Oh no. Why is it that every time Heather like is in tip-top shape in the chat, things always go south super fast? Not in a bad way, but in a really funny way. Heather makes us all funnier, I agree. Hey, thank you so much for being here, Tsukaboo. Good luck with the puppies that are being super extra today. I don't think one is supposed to use the term Eskimo anymore. I think you're supposed to say Inuit or I don't know, but I'm not sure Eskimo is fine. I think Eskimo is I don't know, I haven't really looked into it, but I think it's seen as a bit of a pejorative, maybe a bit of a slur. But I mean, you might have to Google that to be sure. That's what I had heard. That's what I had heard. Oh, well, Fitz has it. So Fitz says, Eskimo was the name they didn't choose for themselves. They refer to themselves as Inuit, and that's what they want others to refer to them as. Inuit is quite nice. I think calling them Eskimo is a bit like calling Native American Indians. It's kind of the same, like, better not, you know, kind of awkward. Or yeah, like gypsy too. It's in that same, I would put them, all three of them, in the same sort of category of awkward words that you're better off not using. Probably. I kind of prefer the term Inuit, personally. Roman shell or travelers, or Roman. I had heard Roma, but I might not be really versed in that. It's kind of even more confusing with the French-English translation of stuff. Googled for added context, Eskimo is considered pejorative and has a dubious origin. It originally meant eaters of raw flesh. Yeah, that's what I had kind of thought, but wasn't sure enough. That was from Fitz. Yeah, that's what I had heard. It meant like being sort of cannibals or something. Like it was a very, very colonizer type of approach to it, and not very true and not very contextual. No, I don't think Eskimo is a real tribe. I'm not sure, but I doubt it. CGP Grey did an interesting video on Indians versus Native Americans. I'll have to check that out. Oh yeah, Romani. That's the thing, right? But yeah, I'm not super versed about the exact term that they want to use. The correct terms for travelers is Romani. There are also other groups like Irish travelers. Palu. Yeah, that's the... Yeah, I wouldn't use gypsy. I mean, why use something that could possibly be a slur when you can use travelers? Travelers cannot be a slur, and if it's not the right word and they correct you, at least you didn't insult anyone. Like say, oh, are you travelers? And they say, no, we're that other thing. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. But if you call them gypsies, that's kind of... I don't know, I'm not comfy with it. Would not recommend. I've been used to use Inuit for many years by now, but only for Greenland native. Really? I've seen the word Inuit used for everybody in the Northern Territories. Not just Greenland, but I know that's something that I am not, like, I have only a cursory knowledge of, and I would need to do some research before being sure of what I says. What I say. No, it's not, well, it's not an insult to call someone travelers. Like, and if they... Good grief. Oh, Phoebe, it's the same with the song Africa by Toto. Dude, that's cringy now. It's a really hard one to listen to. Like, I'm always like, oh no. And then you have it stuck in your head, and you're like kind of bopping to it, and you're like, oh no, it's bad. So the UK has a TV series called My Big Fat Gypsy. Oof. Wait, what? Hold on. Yeah, I mean, you cannot, like, at the time those songs were written, those words were, well, they maybe were as insulting as they are now, but it was not common knowledge, possibly, so that would explain it. But I'm not of the opinion that older things should get a free pass because they're old. It's a matter of context, I find. Oh, well, Fitz, since you know people who are travelers, do they indeed travel? Or, like, say someone doesn't really know if they are called travelers by someone who is outside of their community, and if it's not the proper word, are they going to be offended by being called travelers? Aw, Havoc. She's doing the jerky spasmodic pounce on imaginary bug and placing. We call that, we have two names for that. Scout does what we call the bunny stump, in that she will be like in sort of loaf and she will stomp the thing with her hind legs, and Peko does what we call the war dance, and that she pounces on it with her front paws and then like wiggles her head around, and it's really, really like funny to watch. Dan, no. Actual travelers could be offended by being compared to them. It's just a word. I mean, like, words can have more than one definition. A traveler can refer to someone of Romani origin, somewhat, and it can refer to someone who travels a lot. People are complicated, jeez. Paulo, that's an understatement. But their ethnic group is travelers. So whether they currently travel or not, they consider themselves travelers. Okay, cool. Glad to know. We used to say sit Indian style, but now you're supposed to say crisscross. Yeah, well, sure. I mean, for me, that's not a big thing to change. I mean, yeah, and same in French. We used to say assis en indien, and now we say to sit with crossed legs, s'asseoir avec les jambes croisées. I mean, it's no biggie. Regardless of what country you're in, it's best to refrain from using words that could be offensive. I absolutely agree. Gypsy is such a romantic word in my mindset, so now gypsy is insulting. Well, this is a complicated thing, but it's such a thing based on context. Like, if you are with friends who share the same perception of the word as you do, you can maybe use that word with them and they will understand what you mean because they know. But if you are in public with people you don't know, it's best to keep in mind that the word can be offensive to some people. Oh, that's a bummer. Oh my goodness, she's getting crazier. Havoc is living up to her name. I'm kind of bummed that Heather doesn't have a cat cam installed, like, so that we can witness the shenanigans going on. It might be a bit intrusive, of course, but I feel like there would be such priceless moments there. Are you in the UK, Fitz? The black cat on the drawing is a lot of Belton look. Possibly they still have their house loans to pay off. The first loan was relatively easy to pay off, but the second one, oh my god, I can never amass any amount of berries that is sufficient to start paying back some of it. There's always something awesome to buy at Nook's Cranny, or like Mabel shows up with clothes and you're like, ooh, I want to buy these. So yeah, I'm always like not out of money, but definitely not enough to pay back a loan of almost 200,000 bells. All that for what, a house extension? That's like what, like a 15% increase in space. I'm like, I don't feel it's worth it. It's funny. Heather totally needs a live cam. She really does. It's kind of like Kitten Academy that have like they have specific areas for cats, and they always put cameras in there and you can follow up what the cats are doing. It's really funny. Okay, so you're in the UK, Fitz. Huh. But also acknowledging that anything could technically be offensive to anyone is good too. Don't get me wrong, know your audience, yes, but I think there's also weight to adjusting. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm all for adjusting as needed. But to always keep in mind the fact that you might have to readjust in a different situation. That's the thing. Like, not all situations are the same, and it's a good thing to keep in mind that it can change, and to be just watchful for that. Not saying it's easy. Like, there's always things like that. Even words like, well, do I really want to get into that? Maybe not. But anyway, there's a lot of cases over the last 20 years of words that have been sort of deemed a bit disrespectful in certain situations, and we sort of had to adapt to being more mindful of that. There. Oh, bye, Nicole. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you cook some awesome dinner. My brother's been playing a version of Animal Crossing where there's a glitch that will double the amount of money you have. Ooh, that sounds great. Also, can we imagine for a moment if we got for Heather Cat Lady the cam that also had a treat dispenser? Oh no. Oh, can you imagine? The absolute bunkerness of the situation if there was a treat dispenser. Like, a treat dispenser would already cause a lot of mess with like 2 cats. Imagine having like more than 2. There would be a stampede. I'm gonna draw a scout with the sweatpants I found for my character. Because sweatpants are life. You're a turnip peddler? Dude, where do you get the turnips from? Do you only get them from Daisy May? Hey, welcome back, Heather. Did you miss all the discussion we were having about installing a cat cameras at your place so that we can always watch the mayhem that ensues at all times of day? And having one camera that is connected to a treat dispenser so that if someone sends in super chat, it distributes treats. Well, distribute, more like let go of treats for the cats, and how much of a mayhem that would cause, or something like that. Bought them for 100 bells and sold them for 500. Woo! You get turnips on Sunday morning in Animal Crossing. Do you also play, Diane? Who in the chat has Animal Crossing? Oh yeah, sure, Alex. I agree. I mean, what someone doesn't know, how can you hold that against them? But the thing is that once you know, if you don't take any care into being mindful of that, that's where I find kind of annoying. People who know that certain things are not super nice to say and will still say them, and I'm like, you don't necessarily have to use specific words. You can. Yes, me. Hey, Diane. I know Paulo has it too. I do. Oh, we really need a special channel for Animal Crossing. Turnip selling is called the stock market. Well, that one is not gonna crash, right? Right? Oh, sorry. That was really bad. Oh, I'm sorry. We can crowdsource. Yeah. The main thing would be like, because I mean, I cannot imagine having a camera on in my house all the time because it's kind of intrusive. So I could not wish that on anyone. But in the hypothetical reality where Heather has such cameras, I think it would be hilarious content. Aw, I'm kind of sad that people in chat who don't have Switches, I'm like, oh no. I wish I could get you guys one. I only bought mine like 2 months ago. At some very distant time in the future, I'm unable to get out of my brain the idea of getting the yellow light switch because of the color and because I really, really like handheld stuff. I know that the Switch you can play on the TV, but for some reason I feel kind of weird playing Animal Crossing on the TV. So, yeah, I kind of... It's a very distant goal because money, but it's yellow. It's super happy. Oh, thank you so much for being here, Francis. We will be there next Saturday probably, and if you have the oh yeah, if you have Discord. Wow, my brain just went blank on this. But if you have Discord, we will see you over there. Oh, you got the turquoise one, Fitz. Man, I want the yellow one. All 4 colors are great, mind you. You have a turquoise one, a coral one, a grey one, and a yellow one. Today's blanket started off with a big section of orange. Oh, so me and Paulo can have a party then. I love it. It's such a fun color. I entered a Lunchable contest. I won the Switch and 12... Wow, that's so cool. Wow, Diane, so lucky. How nice. I got the nut light one. Yeah, the one we have is a nut light one too. But I really like the one that's yellow. I don't know why. I've been on a yellow kind of spree recently. Slightly obsessed with all stuff yellow. think this color that I added, like I made changes to this palette because after using it for a while, I was realizing that some colors I barely use. And I added burnt umber in there because for some obscure reason, burnt sienna from Schminke is not PBR7 and their burnt umber is, and I really like it. I'm really glad. I cannot paint within the lines, but whoop whoop. Perhaps I had too much coffee. Oh, you're already there. Oh, Lucien. Oh, it's really nice to connect someone. Sorry, that was odd. Really nice to connect someone from the Discord to the chat. Hey, nice to see you here too. Otto was like, Otto says Mr. O was like, oh my god, your color taste is really changing if you're starting off a blanket with orange. No, I'm just trying to design blankets that kid would enjoy. Turns out all 4 of my kids have the Switch. It's such a fun console to have, honestly. Oops, I forgot to finish painting this before looking at chat, so it's gonna be all messy. Oopsie. The only thing that I'm missing on the Switch compared to other Nintendo handheld consoles is the ability to just clap it. Because that was kind of really nice. Say you're commuting and it's the stop you have to get off and you're playing a game. You could just clap it closed and it would pause automatically and you can put it in your bag and get to work and open it, save, and then close the game. Or you can just leave it clapped, and if it has enough battery you can open it again for the commute home and just be fine. Gray and orange is one of my favorite combinations. Did you get this Switch that has the neon red orange Joy-Con and the blue one? Oh, Heather, that's nice. Oh no. Lise says, when I painted minis today, I used the burnt umber from normal acrylic paints, and to my utter affront, it was made from PBR 101 and PBK7. I think that's Schminke's formula as well. No, we have a Switch carrying bag, but it's just the convenience of just clapping a console. You know, like the 3DS and DS, you have, like, it opens up a bit like a flip phone. And whenever you need to pause it, like if you just close it, if you clap it closed, it's gonna pause anyway. So it's really convenient if you have to rush out of any kind of like subway or a bus. Yeah, I'm super slow on the illustration. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like, chat is a lot of fun today. So I'm like, ooh. What kind of fruits did you guys get on your islands? You can press the off button and it will pause. Well, the home button, right? Right. Yeah, you can put it to sleep that way, but it's not. It's still a few steps more than just clapping a console. Like, it's convenient, mind you. I'm not saying it's not convenient, but clapping is so like, and done, you know? Like, it's so easy to do. Also, it's a really nice way to protect the console when traveling. That's a couple of things. Like, I was looking at the reviews for Switch bags, and some people were complaining that sometimes the bags are a bit too not thick enough, and the fact that they're too thin it messes up the Joy-Con controllers, like the mushroomy ones. What am I saying? Like it squishes them, so it kind of messes the precision of it, I guess. While when you have a console that you can clap closed, everything is protected within the shell of the console. If that makes any sense. The DS Lite was the pinnacle of handheld. Wasn't that one just the one that you couldn't clap? Diane has peaches, Fitz has peaches, Paulo has cherries. I got pears. I still need to steal some peaches and pear trees. Cherry trees. Clap on, clap off, clap on. The clapper. Oh. That the S-clap hit differently when you were angry. Oh my gosh, yes. You know, you didn't have to rage quit. You could rage clap. Oh no, that boss still won again against me. And it's been 7th time I'm trying to beat it. And you could just like rage clap the console. Like, clap! Bye! That was the 2DS. Oh, okay. DS Lite was the one between the DS and the DSi. Dude, I don't remember that one specifically. I have a DS. Mr. E ended up with two 3DSs, so he sort of gave me one. And now we have one Switch. If I wanted mixed pigment earth color, why would I need to buy earth color? Well, I mean, no one has excuses for having like they're not expensive pigments. Why would someone not use like the single pigment one? Is what I'm basically trying to get to. Oh, Professor Layton's, yeah. The clapper thing is from an old commercial. Is that for a, you know, clap to open the lights? Okay, time to switch brushes. I'm not a big gamer, and family is not necessarily big on games, but yeah, Fitz appears to be very knowledgeable. Are you on the Discord too, Fitz? Like, what's your username over there? It's really funny to see the pharmacy talk between Alex and Amisha. I am a fountain of inane trivia and intense opinions. Oh, Fitz's Bones! Hey, Bones! Did you change it on Discord as well? I'm kind of glad when I can connect people on the chat to people on Discord. It's kind of, yay, I can regroup that information and not have to keep it separated. Separated. Separate? That. Oh no, I spilled all the deal. No. Do you guys ever like walk around and you think of things you observe in terms of pigments? Like we went out for a walk yesterday, and at some point we passed by a really blue car, and I was like, oh, I wonder if it's more like a phthalo blue red shade or more of a phthalo blue yellow shade for this car. And then I saw another one. I was like, oh, this one is like PB60 kind of color. And yeah, it kind of cracked me up to be thinking of things in terms of pigments. Whenever I see a car that's like quinacridone, I'm like, what? And also, dude, I wanted to say something. Oh yeah, Otto sent me a really nice photo the other day, and I was looking at the sky, and I was like, oh wow, okay, I can see why people would use ultramarine for painting the sky, and it just cracks me up to basically think of things in terms of paint and pigment, which is not surprising, mind you, but still kind of funny. Oh yeah, the quinacridone gold cars, that's another one. I mean, can you imagine like someone not privy to our thoughts seeing us walk by a quinacridone gold car and really frown at that car and be like looking really intense and mean all of a sudden towards a car that's not even moving or doing anything? Like, it really cracks me up. I keep hoping that maybe someday quinacridone gold cars is gonna be trendy again, and they're gonna reopen the making of this pigment. Like, maybe it could happen, I guess. But to be fair, I really like the hues they've made, so I'm not really bothered by the absence of quin gold, but it's just like so weird that we depend so much on the car industry to get colors. It's like, well, if they decide suddenly that there's no longer any need for yellow anything, how are we gonna cope, you know? Will we end up without any yellow paint? PG-50 switch light. Oh my gosh, yes. Sometimes Mr. O tries to take me on about colors. I always win, he hasn't learned yet. Somewhat unattractive brownish gold car pops up. It's the original Buford. That's hilarious. Well, if it was quinacridone gold, it wouldn't really be orange, would it? It would be like this warm yellow color. Yeah, we would know who's a painter and who is not right away. the Quinacridone Gold Car Coalition or something. Oh, it's almost 5. Well, good thing I'm almost done with this. I think I'm gonna stop after that. Time goes by really quickly. Well, at least for me. I hope for you too, but I could drive a rainbow car. Ooh. Have any of you heard of a peelable product called Dip Your Car? I often wonder which pigments are used. I wouldn't want to imagine myself trying to put any kind of peelable stuff on my car, unless it's with the brush and it's liquid at first, but it's hard enough to install like the protective screen on a phone or whatnot. I cannot imagine trying to do that on a big car. Yeah, it has been super fun. Thank you guys for being here, honestly. I find that the live streams are even more timely with the confinement stuff going on and the fact that we all have to stay home, but it's like making the best of it by hanging out together on Caturday. I wonder sometimes, like, should we make a Discord channel for walking challenges, in the sense that like whenever you go on a walk and you spot something peculiar, like pictures of quinacridone gold cars or any kind of really nerdy painter stuff, share the pictures there. I think you could get a multicolor car in the sense that the hood could be red, the side parts could be yellow, the doors could be green, the roof could be blue, and I don't know if they would make a gradient, but I'm pretty sure that it's not that difficult to paint each part of the what's the name for it, but you know, the outer part of the car, like a different color. But that's just stipulation. So today we've been drawing Animal Crossing, Scout and Pecco, and some cats flattening the curve. Because why not? Oh no, Phoebe, not at all. Don't worry about that. If anything, we're all a bunch of socially awkward people, so we can all be comfy, either in the fact that we are all awkward, or in the fact that no one was awkward and we are all like thinking way too hard on this. Hey, Eliza! All that PO49 wasted on a car should have been made into more paint. I agree. Heather says, I had a gold car and considered adding leopard spots. I even considered cat eyes on the hood. Oh man, that would have been awesome. And yeah, that's absolutely you. That would have been your car for sure. Oh man, it would have been so cool. Some cars had the green, blue, purple color. What color it was varied based on how much light hit it, huh? Ah, what? There's a woman driving around town with painted on blood splatters. Ew. Oh, thank you so much, Alex. I'm glad. So, thank you so much everyone for being here today. I will try to set up the channel on Discord for all the Animal Crossing talk. So that we don't bother anyone else with the Animal Crossing stuff. Yeah, thank you so much everyone for being here. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all holding on and social distancing and all of that. There will be another live stream next Saturday, so we can hang out, all of us together then. And in the meantime, there is always the Discord server that you can go hang out on. That's there 24/7, and it's a chat platform, so if you don't already have an account, you can just click on the link and it's gonna take you through the process of creating an account. It's super easy. Sorry. And what else? Oh yeah, great big thank you to the moderators in the chat today. Otto, I'm pretty sure you guys all know about Otto, but if you haven't seen Dr. Otto Cano's channel and you like watercolors, that's definitely where you want to go. And then a big thank you to Lise and Heather too for being here. I mean, not much happens in the chat that is needing moderators, but you guys do an amazing job with the links, and I'm super thankful for that. And I'm also super thankful for everyone who's been here today. And yeah, it was super fun. So take care, all of you. And yes, Heather, a Black Panther cat would be pretty epic. Black Panther cat? A Black Panther truck would be pretty epic. Like, very epic. Alright guys, take care, see you around, and yeah, have a fun weekend. Bye!